Was he secretly the best live-action Superman all along, or a laughingstock to comic book Superman fans and real Superman fans everywhere? Ladies and gentlemen, there's a civil war going on right now, so I needed to make this video. James Gunn Superman fans, and Superman fans in general, and Snyder fans, and Henry Cavill Superman fans. A lot of people are giving hate to the James Gunn movie, thinking it's gonna be shit. Without even seeing it, they're already saying, yeah, it's gonna be the worst movie of all time. Where is Henry Cavill? We need him back. Now, I, for one, am looking forward to James Gunn Superman. I think it looks good. James Gunn has yet to make a superhero movie that I appall or despise, so I'm looking forward to this. I am all about respect the past and embrace the future. I'm not someone who despises Henry Cavill Superman. I am someone who is okay to see another take on Superman. I'm not that big of a Snyder fan. I criticize him a lot. I give him shit. People know this. Henry Cavill is getting older and he's focusing on Warhammer. Let him. In fact, I want to see Henry Cavill and Warhammer. I want a proper Warhammer live action show done. And if it's shit, if Amazon shits the bed, I will go to their central headquarters and take a dump right in the center of it, y'all, for Henry Cavill, for the Emperor. Now, we see the infamous Reddit postings of Snyder fans saying, okay, review bomb the shit out of James Gunn Superman when it comes out, reserve tickets so no one else can buy them, and then don't pay. Don't pay. Let's ruin this film before it begins. Unfortunately for them, this is breaking ticket records or some shit I heard, and it's probably going to do really well at the box office. So, you people, Snyder fans, who are doing this, not all of them, but insane Snyder fans, this is a sickness. You're mentally ill. Stop it. Get some help. Now, what is Superman supposed to represent? He's the ideal to strive towards, right? He is the pinnacle of superheroes. Hope and light manifests into one being. Did Henry Cavill Superman represent this? Well, let's see. Let's take it one movie at a time. Let's be fair. I'm a fair man. I might say a lot of dumb shit and get a lot of things wrong. A lot of my fans know this, but I am a fair man. The truth is, it's complicated. This is not a yes or a no. People are gonna be like, yes, he was amazing, he's the best Superman ever. Or, no, he was shit, he's dark, depressed, emo Superman. We don't need that. Let's be chill here. We're somewhere in the middle. It's complicated. I'm a Man of Steel fan. I like Man of Steel, and I think Henry Cavill in Man of Steel is this is the best of the Superman that Snyder gave us. 100%. It's not even close. The scene with him flying. This inspires hope into children everywhere. There's a viral video of that toddler or that kid going crazy off this clip, right? We all know it. We got him smiling. Remember when he smiled? Remember when he's in the bar with his girlfriend and he's smiling with his mom too, and some douchebag even throws alcohol in his face and he just walks away? Granted, he destroys the truck, but we saw in Smallville, Tom Welling's Clark Kent did the same thing to Whitney's truck in the pilot. If you know, you know. Tom Welling Superman is my favorite version of Clark Kent on live action, by the way, if you didn't know. And Smallville has the best Lex Luthor ever. That's not even, no one can even debate this. I really liked Clark and his father's scene, that program that Jor-El created within the ship, right? I liked Russell Crowe's Jor-El and the back and forth relationship that he had with his son. I love these scenes, right? Now, we get to the infamous battle scene with Zod where a bunch of fucking people die and there's a shit ton of collateral damage. Now, I don't mind the collateral damage part because one, it's addressed in the next movie in a way that actually makes sense, to be honest. Okay, Superman he wasn't given a lot of options here, all right? Yes, he could have grabbed Zod and taken him to space. He tried that. Zod found a way to come right back down. And people are gonna die in a battle like this, okay? And I'm glad that this is realistic too. I was maybe I was a bit too hard on this aspect of the movie when I initially made my first Man of Steel video. When you have two Dragon Ball Z level beings going at it in a human city or near a human city, people are gonna die badly. And I think what a lot of people the problem a lot of people had was Superman just casually walking away or flying through it all with buildings falling. When Zod lasers the building and the building's falling down, Superman just chases Zod without helping the people. I think that's the thing that people have a problem with. But you really have to think about those details. In the midst of the movie, I didn't mind it. Now here we get to the infamous Zod killing. Now, I don't like this. I know, listen. People have gone after me for my take on this. He had no choice. What the hell was he supposed to, Zaffy? Zod was about to nuke an entire family and nothing could hold Zod. No prison could hold Zod. What was he supposed to do? Now, here's my reformed take on this, okay? Ultimately, do I think Superman could have done nothing except for this? No. I don't think resorting to a freaking neck snap was the only thing he could have done. You had his back. But ultimately, all the things he could have done to Zod, that's besides the point. Zod might have still found a way out to kill more people, right? If he tried to do anything else to withhold Zod and capture him, it might have ended in more lives being taken, okay? So he didn't have a lot of options. I think my issue with this is more so the fact that Zack Snyder put Superman in a corner, in a position where he had to kill in his first movie. If I was to have Superman kill someone, it would have to be an end-all be-all crazy stakes situation in like a third movie or something. I think so. I think I have a personal bias for that. I do think Zack Snyder kind of wanted to be edgy a little bit and take a stand with this. Hey, this is our Superman movie. This is different, y'all. This is a badass, dark Superman. I think there's an aspect of that I don't like either. Because I just have a feeling subconsciously that Zack Snyder wants his Superman to be like a bit more like Batman than anyone else. And he's obsessed with that Injustice storyline, okay, for a reason. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. But I'm coming around to the idea that maybe this isn't the end of the world, okay? Maybe this isn't this is not as bad of a scene as I think. I don't think Superman killing Zod in this ruined Superman for me, because ultimately he was trying to save humans and he put their lives over everyone else. The problem is when people say nothing could have held Zod, no prison could have held Zod, he had no choice. How many other superpowered beings that are way more powerful than Zod that cannot be held on Earth by any prison? How many people like that has Superman fought without killing? Right? Many. He did kill Doomsday. In Death of Superman, I'm pretty sure he breaks Doomsday's neck while dying. That's a different situation, and Doomsday's not really a person like Zod is, he's more of a monster, but still. I'm cool with it now, guys. You don't need to keep coming at me. I'm cool with it. I just don't like that it happened in like the first Superman movie. Fuck. It's raining. I apologize if you hear that. Whatever. I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk any longer. BVS, I don't care what anyone says. This ain't Superman. Nothing about this is Superman. Part of the reason is Superman is sidelined in the story that he's literally supposed to be 50% of. He has nothing to do, and Henry Cavill's performance is tampered with, okay? People always say Superman looks depressed in these movies. He's so emo in BVS. This isn't because Henry Cavill is a shit actor, okay? He's not the greatest actor, but this is a lack of writing. His character doesn't have a lot to do, so he's stuck with these expressions because he doesn't have room to do anything. This is a story where Zack Snyder was attempting to break Clark Kent down as a character, but the problem is you have a lot of other shit in the story that fucks with that, right? That takes away from that. So Clark Kent is not fleshed out enough in this. When he says no one stays good in this world, this is cringe. Why? Not because, oh, come on, Zaffy, Superman was broken down, Martha was taken, Lex is fucking with his head. Of course he's gonna be this. Why is it unrealistic to say he would be like this? Look, Lex Luthor versus Clark Kent is not fleshed out in this movie at all. Yeah, he kidnapped Martha. If Lex Luthor was putting Clark's brain under the fire for the most of this movie, and we saw it time after time after time. Yes, he was trying to frame Clark there. He put Clark through a trial, all this stuff. This scene would have been more earned, but if it's not earned, Superman fans everywhere are going to look at the scene and be like, that is not Superman. What the fuck is this abomination of a character, right? This didn't bother me when I saw it, by the way. When I first saw this movie, I didn't care about this. Because Superman and Batman were about to fight, baby. I didn't care about this shit. Superman doesn't have a lot to do in this film, and it does ruin his character. Now Snyder Cut. Remember what James Gunn has said recently about his Superman. He's trying to make this the most vulnerable Superman. He's trying to make him relatable as hell, right? I get it. I understand. If this is the weakest Superman, I wouldn't be surprised, and that might piss off a lot of people. But just be prepared, that might happen. But this guy, if I want to say, listen, I don't want this guy losing to anyone he shouldn't be losing to, right? I don't believe for a fact this guy loses to anyone he shouldn't be losing to. This is maybe the most powerful Superman we've seen on live action after getting birthed by the Mother Box. This was Steppenwolf, Aquaman and Wonder Woman had to be teaming up to fight this guy half the time. Superman just slapped him around like he was nothing. And he slapped around the Justice League right before that, right? This is the power of Superman I want to see. People will say, Henry Cavill's acting is a bit suspect. Does he have acting range? Is he a good enough actor to even play this character? Here's my take. I don't think it's a range problem. I do think Henry Cavill has limited range. Let's just say it how it is. I do think he has limited range as an actor. I think the character at some points is written without personality as the movies go on. In Man of Steel, you had personality. In BVS, you were sidelined completely. In Snyder Cut, there's just not a lot for you to do in that, right? Because he's not in it for a lot of it, right? He's dead until he's brought back. And then when he's brought back, he's just beating the shit out of people, right? There's not a lot of personality in this Superman after Man of Steel, in my opinion. Henry Cavill has shown that he can play personality because he has played two different kinds of characters. Granted, Geralt is a stoic dude, so Henry Cavill's more wooden acting works with that. But then in Man of Uncle, he has a lot of personality and wit to him. He's like a James Bond, right? If you found a middle ground in this, you could have written him to be a Superman with personality, but the problem is the writing doesn't help him. So it's not Henry Cavill's acting that's the issue, in my opinion. He could play a good Superman with personality if he was written well, like in Man of Steel. In Man of Steel, this is the ideal Superman, in my opinion, for live action, especially when Henry Cavill's involved. This is it. Not this fucker. No. Hell no. What the hell were you even doing here, Zach? Why is Superman written so poorly? The power of the Snyder Cut, Superman, with the personality, because Snyder Cut, he starts ripping the shit out of Steppenwolf to the point where I thought Steppenwolf was about to die at one point. There was a point where Superman's just beating on Steppenwolf, smiling and shooting lasers, and I'm like, all right, bro, chill. I think he's had enough, yo. So let's remove the murderous Superman, but the power of the Snyder Cut Superman with the ideal personality and hopefulness of this Superman, that's the ideal Superman. That is a very good, that might be the best Superman. I guess we have Tyler Hoechlin Superman and Christopher Reeve Superman, right? But that could be the ideal Superman. This is the power of Superman and the badassery plus the hope that we got from a Man of Steel. That's it. But they just couldn't maintain it. I think we got a hint of it, that Black Adam end credit scene though, where he confronts Black Adam at the end. His look, the way he spoke, the way he came down, the way the colors of his suit are more bright and colorful now. I was like, holy shit. This might be it. They might have found it. They might have found 100% their perfect Superman now. They have it. And Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam was shit. It bombed. I think Henry Cavill had the most potential. And I think Man of Steel was great. I think Man of Steel was a great Superman. If only we had a bit more of that. I think Henry Cavill is great. I think it's time to move on. This is an homage to Henry Cavill. I cannot wait for Warhammer. I love Henry Cavill. I really like the Superman. Can't wait for James Gunn Superman. Can the fans just stop warring and just enjoy? If you don't want to watch James Gunn Superman, Snyder fans, go back to just rewatch Man of Steel a couple times. Why do you have to bring negativity into space? And please don't be part of this cultist base that wants to like review bomb and reserve seats for the new, bro, don't do any of that shit, bro. Have a life. I don't have much of a life, but you should have one. You should have more of a life than me, all right? If you want to know who'd win between Henry Cavill's Superman and Omni-Man versus other live-action Supermans in a fight, you can watch that video over here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to take over Hollywood. But the army must keep growing. If you want to suggest video topics to me, or talk about your favorite movies or favorite film theories in a community with like-minded individuals, join the Zafy Discord now. Link is in the description and the comment section as well. Join us. This movement is just beginning. We're taking over Hollywood, one coke line at a time.